also getting really interested in finding ways to biohack, to improve my life.
I let you in, it ain't a sin with all these simulations. Should be fake smile, will take a while to get rid of. I'm sorry, no, we can't see the
Ready? Hi. Good boy. Okay, let's get ready to head out to the gym. Got my shoes, gotta put these on. But something I wanted to talk about for a quick second before I head out to the gym is just how important, I think classes are. So today I am going to show you a class at my new gym. I actually haven't done that yet. I've done a couple vlogs at my new gym, but all of them have been when I was working out with a small group of people in open gym and not in the class environment. So I'm going to take you into the class today. I think class and connection is one of the things that makes CrossFit so special. Carson wants me to pet him down here. I need to put on my shoes. I think that connection is what really sets CrossFit apart from so many other things. Someone I went to college with posted today on Facebook. Facebook, I don't really use Facebook that often. I feel like it's kind of not used as often now, but occasionally I will check it, and I love that I can catch up with some people that I haven't seen in a very long time. This is one of them. I graduated from college in 2015, and I haven't seen him since 2015, but he recently has lost a lot of weight and gotten a lot fitter because he joined a CrossFit gym about a year ago, and he was talking about how it's changed his life. Me, I've been doing CrossFit since I was in college. So it's awesome to see people that I knew in a totally different capacity taking on something that has really made a huge difference in my life. And talking about community, join this community here. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I talked about this in my previous video, but my view hours by subscribers versus non-subscribers, not great. So if you want to help improve that, hit that subscribe button. I don't do any advertising on this channel. Only thing I advertise is me and this channel and putting out free content for all of you. So subscribe for more free content. Anyway, I'm also getting really interested in finding ways to biohack, to improve my life and to be the healthiest version of me. And something I recently heard, an article I was looking at, there's a bunch of articles on this actually, it's how social connection can support longevity.
The number one predictor of a long life is the number of positive social connections that you have.
Really?
Yes. And I thought it's going to be exercise. It's going to be exercise on top because of my first book. But no, exercise is, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5. It is social connections. It can be positive interactions that you have with the barista at your coffee shop. Having that positive banter, giving them a little punch in the arm and they give it back to you. That counts, which I love thinking about that. So that happiness and joy that you can bring, it costs nothing for you and it is giving you a longer life.
Absolutely.
And these social connection things, they don't have to be like having a million best friends or having a giant family. I don't have a very big family, and I have a good amount of friends, but not all like best friends. This social connection idea that supports longevity, it doesn't have to be those big relationships. It can be these small ones. It can be the people you see at the CrossFit gym. The fact that you're there making friends, being with friends, that can help support longevity, even really tiny things. So today is the day of that solar eclipse. Someone at my apartment complex had eclipse glasses and let me borrow a pair, which was very kind of them. And that even is a small social connection that can help with longevity, just having a person that you're acquainted with in your building. But she let me borrow these glasses, and I was out walking around looking at the eclipse. I'm in California, Northern California, so we only have about a 35% coverage. It's interesting to see. It's not like incredible like those people that are in the path of totality, but still pretty cool. So there was a bunch of people outside as I was walking around with my dog, Carson. Carson, say hi. He's still here, Carson. As I was walking with Carson, I did try to put the glasses on him. He was not tolerating it. But when I was walking around with him, there were some people like looking up and they saw that I had glasses and like, oh, can you see anything? And I'm like, yeah, you can definitely see it. Do you want to borrow these so you can get a look at it? And even those very, very tiny interactions, these people, I didn't know their names. I will likely never see them again, but I got to play a role in their eclipse experience and actually getting to see it, because those people probably wouldn't have saw it at all if it wasn't for me. So I think that this theory that I've recently stumbled upon could have some real impact on your life, happiness, and I think we see it in the CrossFit gyms. We can see it on the streets like I did today. So just a little way to biohack that I think a lot of people can easily implement, making these tiny social connections. We will talk more about that and probably some CrossFit news in the voiceover of this video of this workout, because unfortunately it is a workout that has a bit of running in it, which means you're not going to be able to see me, but I will be talking over all of it in the voiceover, giving you some context and some thoughts. So definitely stick around, even though you won't be able to see me in that part. Today is my day off. It's an easy day for me to film this video. Unfortunately, the workout is not probably the best, but stay with me. I will make it worth your while. We will still talk about things, and Carson is still here. All right, I'm gonna head to the gym. Cutie, cutie. High five. Before we get into the workout, there's just a little bit of a look at our warm-up, a very small portion of that, but there were some air squats, then some strict presses with a dumbbell that's lighter than the dumbbell I will be using during the workout, and that's what everyone did, lighter than what you would be using. Some strict pressing with the heavy dumbbell. That gets rough. This is much easier. And then some work on the rig, because we do have some rig work in this workout. So, and they are toes to bar. So warming up the toes to bar, we first did some swings the first time through this warm up, and then on to the actual toes to bar if you were doing them in the workout.
3, 2, 1, go!
Here we go. 16-minute AMRAP. You have a clock on your screen so you can keep up with where we are. Unfortunately, like I mentioned, this workout has a 400-meter run in it, so about 2 minutes of not being able to see me for most of the workout. And at the beginning, there's no one else in the room, so there's really no one to look at right now. So I put the workout up on the screen so we can talk about it. So we'll do that here first, but I have plenty of other content to talk about when I'm out of the room. So 16-minute AMRAP, 400-meter run, 20 hang dumbbell snatches, a 50-pound dumbbell for men, 35 for women, 20 toes to bar. So it's as many reps or rounds as possible of this in 16 minutes. Continuously working, no rest. Felt pretty tired at the end of this one, but right now, still out on that 400-meter run. And I am liking the programming at this gym. I mentioned that I believe it is all adaptations of the jump ship training workouts. I've talked a little bit about that programming in a previous vlog of mine, but that is the programming the gym that I now go to, Pacific Strength CrossFit in Oakland, uses. And they don't necessarily do the exact same workout that the athletes that do jump ship are doing. A lot of times the coach, the owner of the gym, will adapt those workouts to a class environment. Sometimes they are the same workouts for jump ship though. So if you're someone who's familiar with jump ship and looked at this workout and was like, hey, that's what I did today, it may be exactly the same, but usually there's a little bit of adjustment there. So we're about 1:40 in. We're starting to see some people, mostly men are a little bit faster, start to move back into the room to start those 20 hang dumbbell snatches. But me, I'm still running and I'm almost back, but I'm still out there. So I'm gonna come in and grab my dumbbell. My dumbbell is the one that you see in the middle of the room, and I am going to make a mistake right off the bat. So there I am, blue pants, green top. 1, I didn't hang that first one like I should. 2, my grips, I don't use grips very often. I'm trying to get used to them. My grips are facing forward, and I'm literally like grabbing them each time I try to dumbbell snatch. So if you try this workout or any workout with hang dumbbell snatches, my advice to you, make sure you turn your grips backwards so they're no longer on your palm, because when they are, you're gonna be trying to switch that dumbbell and literally pulling on your grip from the other hand, and it just makes it impossible. So I had to put the dumbbell down to reset and do this properly. So burned a little bit of time there, and that's going to actually happen again. But I do some of the rounds learn from my mistake, but it's hard to learn here, you know, especially in the middle of a workout. When you get WOD drunk, things just fall out of your brain. Moving on to the toes to bar, getting my hands chalked up, my grips chalked up. If you've been here a while, you know that I struggle with the grips. I just don't love them. I've gotten used to them though, and sort of like them now for toes to bar. And I do think they help me do this first round of 20 unbroken. Now, if you're gonna be doing this workout, I don't think I'd recommend 20 unbroken. It was a lot. The last couple reps, like 2, 3, were a bit of a stretch and a struggle. So I don't know if I would necessarily recommend it. Although, if you are good at toes to bar, you do have that 2 minutes of running, or the 400 meters of running, whatever you want to call it. So you have a little bit of time to sort of reset. I switched the grips back around to the back of my hands while I was running out the door right there. So you do have time to recover if you do want to push these sets to be a little bit bigger than what you would usually do in a workout like this, because you're not going into another core heavy movement right after that. You're going on a run. You have time to regroup, to just gather yourself and to be able to rest that core before you're doing more toes to bar. So if you do want to push it, I do think this is the opportunity to push those toes to bar. So let's get back into talking about some of the other stuff I was talking about in the beginning of this video before we were at the gym. So I mentioned that I am trying to look more into some ways to biohack. So if you're not familiar with the term biohacking, it's used to describe various tips, tricks that can enhance the body's ability to function at its peak performance. So the idea is to maybe even go as far as extending your lifespan. So some of these are like more extreme things. The one I was mentioning today, social connection, feels like a very obtainable way that a lot of people can biohack. And I may want to talk about biohacking in future videos. So if you have any ideas or any things that you've tried to biohack, please let me know in the comments below. I think that one of my goals in life is to try to find like the pinnacle of happiness, health, success. I mean, I think that's a lot of people's goals, but I have that goal, and I'm trying to actually do things to achieve it instead of just wanting it. So biohacking and finding ways, little ways, easier ways, not necessarily extreme ways, that I can achieve more happiness, health, and success are things that I am very, very interested in pursuing. So I am back in the room, got the shirt off. You know, we're getting serious now. I actually did a hang snatch for the first rep that time. Very proud of myself. And I have my grips turned the correct way. So this is looking to be a good set of hang dumbbell snatches. And what's interesting about watching this back is, the thing is, I often work out with my shirt off, and I feel very confident in my body. CrossFit has given me so much confidence. But when you're bending over with a dumbbell and working hard and not thinking about what your body looks like, there are moments that I feel like, I don't love the way my stomach looks all the time. But you know what? That's what people's stomachs look like. All of us have like rolls when we bend over when I'm snatching like that. That's just what bodies look like. There are some extremes where like Rich Fronings where they don't look like that, but their whole life is working out. Me, I'm in here an hour a day. That's what I'm really trying to do, because I'm trying to find that pinnacle of all of those things. And that doesn't always involve being in the gym for 6 hours a day like those elite athletes. So I'm not. So my body's not going to look like that. But my body looks like someone who works hard for an hour or two most days. And I'm proud of that. So no hiding any of those, bad angles where you could see where things don't look as nice, And it looks great. I think it looks great. More than bad. At least great more than bad. So proud of my body. Always going to leave it here. Not going to put any filters or goofy stuff on it. This is what it looks like. I'm a normal person who just likes to work out and talk to you guys about it. And I think that's more of that is what we need. More normal people being normal people. Now that I'm back out the door though, and that's 2 rounds completed. We are almost to the halfway point. It's a 16-minute AMRAP. We are coming up on the 8-minute mark. So this is where I realized I can possibly, if I can keep it up with where I am, finish 4 rounds, stay steady in that 3rd round, and then maybe push it at the end of round 4. So that's kind of what I'm thinking out in the run. But while I'm out of the room, let's go back to that biohacking and to the woman in that clip that I found on Instagram. Her name is Wendy Suzuki, and I believe this was part of a podcast from the School of Greatness. It's not new, it's an older clip, but I've been looking into this idea and this happened to pop up. Crazy how AI seems to feed you the right things at the right time. I love that, actually. Some people hate it. I think it's a really cool aspect of technology. But anyway, basically what Suzuki is saying is one of the number one predictors of a long life is having more positive social connections. The more you have, the more likely you are to live a long life. So this woman, you might be like, who the heck is she? She is a neuroscientist, and she went to some very prestigious universities and has studied this for a long time. I think the studying means more than the universities you go to, but she's published a lot of work, some books. Some of her more recent work, actually, which she mentions in that clip I showed you earlier, is focused on how aerobic exercise can be used to improve learning, memory, cognitive abilities in people. So I think she has a lot of beliefs that align with what a lot of people who do CrossFit believe. So we all have that very much in common with her, and I think she's somebody that a lot of us can look towards her data and sort of understand and respect what she's doing. And for someone like her to say, hey, I always thought it was going to be exercise that was going to be the number one predictor of a long life, but it's not. I think she is someone that I personally, knowing her background and knowing my belief in exercise, could be like, hey, maybe she's right. Maybe she has a good point there, that that's not necessarily the number one. She did say in that video, I don't think that's in the part I put in my video, but I think she said that exercise is like 4 or 5 on the list. But number 1 is those social connections. And right now I am doing these dumbbell snatches in a room full of other people who are suffering just like me. So it's cool to all have that in common. I do feel that even in a class setting when you're not necessarily interacting with the person next to you, it still is a social connection. We are all social suffering right now, and I think that makes a big difference. There's also this epidemic of loneliness, especially since the pandemic. I live in the Bay Area and I'm tying my shoe. This really ate into some of my time here. I'm like, if I can finish 4 rounds still and have to tie this shoe, maybe I could have gotten an extra rep. But the problem is the extra rep is a 400-meter run, which is a 2-minute rep. So really 4 rounds is about what I had in me, and we'll see if I can quite make it. But we are chipping away at those toes to bar, got those grips back on, and just trying to start out with a big set, knock out a big set before I have to break. So back to that epidemic of loneliness. I live in the Bay Area, and one of the counties here is San Mateo County. That county is just south of San Francisco County. I live in Alameda County, but there are 9 counties in the Bay Area. San Mateo is one of them. The supervisors there, the Board of Supervisors, back a few months ago, early 2024, they did pass a resolution that declared loneliness a public health crisis. And the board, I'm back out on that run, just under 12 minutes, so looking good to get that 4 rounds. But they declared loneliness a public health crisis, and the county pledged to explore measures that promote social connection in the community. So this idea that not having these social connections is going to lead to a shorter life, it's prevalent all over the place. It's not just a belief I have as somebody who CrossFits and loves the community aspect of it. It's not just an idea that Wendy Suzuki, a neuroscientist, has. It is a belief that we need social connections. That belief, it's throughout the world if you look for it. There's a lot of evidence to prove that social connections make a massive, massive difference in our health, in the way we feel about ourselves, and apparently in our longevity. So that's really why I encourage people to get into their CrossFit gym, and not just into the CrossFit gym, but into these class environments where you end up having more social interactions. So there was an article on Google Scholar about the social support and longevity. It was a meta-analysis based evidence and based on both psycho and biological measures. So pretty cool concept there. Also, there was another article, Social Relationships and Physiological Determinants of Longevity Across the Human Lifespan. There's a lot of data behind why social connection is just really so important for a healthy life. I was thinking about talking a little bit about the team quarterfinals during this voiceover, but I feel like we've talked about a lot and filled up a lot of this time. So I don't think we're gonna go into that in this video, but again, make sure you subscribe because I will talk about the results of team quarterfinals. So I did the hang for a lot of it, although I do mess this up again because again, I have these grips facing the wrong way and then I end up pulling on them. So then once I moved the grips, I forgot and I did a rep from the ground. This is the last round. I do believe I do an extra rep at the end of this because I was like, don't want to cheat. And I realized that I messed up that rep. But when you mess up a rep like that, my advice, keep going. You can do an extra one at the end, but don't like stop and freak out because that's not going to help you at all to get better at it or to stay in the workout. So you don't want to pull yourself out of your workout by realizing you messed something up. So do another rep. That's always my advice. If you messed it up in a sense like a hang, you do it from the ground, do an extra rep. A toe to bar, you missed the bar, do an extra rep. That's really your best bet. So last minute of this workout, and I'm like, I've got 50 seconds. You can do 20 toes to bar in 50 seconds. Let's knock these out. Again, starting out with a big set. It's not quite as good as the first round where I went unbroken, but we started out with a big set and then just kind of kept my eyes on the clock up there. I'm able to see it from where I am and just did enough. That's all I wanted to do. Just do enough to get it done. There's no benefit of me finishing it much before the time cap, just because the rep after the toes to bar, like I said, is 400 meters. It's a 2-minute rep, and that's just not gonna happen with the time remaining. So just do enough to get this done, finish it, get my toes to bar. Got one more small set, I think, of toes to bar. And then once I'm done, I finish before the time cap by a little bit, and there was no point in really going anywhere. So now I'm just trying to recover quickly because a lot of times at Jump Ship now, we lift after the Metcon, which I think is some good training for some things we've seen in the CrossFit space. So here I am warming up a little bit with a PVC pipe, just doing some deadlifts and just getting the body warm for snatching specifically. But believe me, you are warm after you do a whole Metcon. And this is only about 5 minutes after the Metcon. So working on moving into these snatches. So this snatch complex, I will put it up on the screen for you, but this snatch complex is every 90 seconds for 12 minutes, 8 sets. It is 1 snatch pull, 1 low hang snatch. Oh no, I just lost that. I just lost my plate, but couldn't do that again if I tried 10 times. But again, this snatch complex, 1 snatch pull, 1 low hang squat snatch. So you'll see that there, and 1 full snatch from the ground. I did them all touch and go, building in weight as I went. I like this complex, although as it got heavier, it got a little bit tougher to not fall into a very deep squat. You see there, I just kind of like get a little bit bottomed out into that squat and just trying to get strong, trying to get my legs strong, because if you know that my legs are my weaker part of this whole thing. But I do actually love snatching. I love a technical lift. That's why I probably don't like squatting as much. Just brute squatting, not super technical. And here I am doing something else I'm not very good at. There's a basketball hoop, decided to pull out the basketball and shoot some hoops. Someone told me it looks like I'm throwing a med ball, probably because I have a lot more experience doing that than I do playing basketball. As I left Whole Foods, there's a Whole Foods right across the street. It gets me every time. Got a little treat for myself, this organic lemonade, strawberry lemonade, very good. Some fruits and vegetables in there. I'm back home and already with Carson here. Say hi, buddy. Hi. And I really have been loving getting back into doing a ton of class workouts. The community in the class can't be beat. Suffering with other people is one of those things that brings people together and is what makes CrossFit so unique and special. The workouts just really allow you to make friends, chat after or before, share in the pain, and really just feel good about yourself. And the class environment just helps with that so much. So I've really been enjoying being at a gym where the programming feels really good and feels like it's something that you don't have to add a lot in to feel like you're getting a really good workout and getting fitter. We have quarterfinals coming up, so I will be doing that. I made quarterfinals. I finished in the 90th percentile, although you had to only do top 25 this year, so a little bit more accessible for more people to jump in and try quarterfinals for the first time. So it'll be exciting to see how that goes down and what the workouts look like. We don't know those just yet, so that'll be fun. I will be posting all of that here. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. If you didn't subscribe at the beginning, see Carson saying subscribe too. He wants you to subscribe. And I will also talk a little bit about how other people, the elite athletes, do in quarters. My next video will probably be a wrap up of team quarterfinals and how the leaderboard looks. So make sure you come back for that. I appreciate you all for watching. Carson is in the way here. I think he wants my attention. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you like this video, leave a comment if you have any thoughts, and we'll see you later. Bye. Bye. Oh, he's saying bye.